All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome on back to our afternoon meeting here this Thursday, January 27th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Great to see Chuck, great to see Norman, great to see Mark, great to see all of our students live inside Cyber Group. And if you're joining us once again on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube, likewise, welcome on back, everybody. So great to see all of our students now rejoining us here, like Michael and Phil, Jeff, Patrick, Chad. Great to see Kathleen and Leda, the ladies of the room, loud and clear from everybody. Lawrence is not one of the ladies. Great to see Lawrence too, though. And, hey, let's hop right into the thick of things, folks. We do have class later on today, phase 2, lesson number 2. This is actually a bit of a mini series that I do here within the phase 2 curriculum, where we tend to break down the preparation process behind trading the market open or, the market close. For this class, we'll kind of focus more on the market open, and, where we finish up this afternoon, we're actually going to pick up and continue with come tomorrow morning. So, this is actually probably the two classes that I enjoy the most when it comes to teaching the curriculum. Like, this is pretty much as much of a phase 3 class as you could find, at least within phase 2. So for Bill, Leda, Kathleen, Lawrence, all of us otherwise, we're going to post the link for that class coming up very shortly. But for right now, we'll start with the stock on the screen here, the INDO. And I know I need to go quick here, folks. We got class coming up. But I want to go over this trade a little bit here, the INDO. I mean, this thing came out of nowhere, like literally just out of nowhere, just got popped and halted early in the morning after the market opened up. Fausto was the first to call out the stock as it was initially pushing up here and getting halted. But at the time, the thing that scared me, and I guess, there wasn't much to be scared of after the fact, but to say that, it was only trading like 100,000 shares at that point in the day, maybe 150. That's not a whole lot, really, going into 10 o'clock. I mean, that's kind of the type of volume we find for a stock on the gainers list at 8 o'clock in the morning, 100 or 150,000 shares. So, when this reopened up off the halt, I was pretty reluctant on trying to get in, as I thought it would just dump right back down, or at least shortly after it would. And wrong. Ended up pushing upward, getting halted a second time. This was like the gift that kept on giving. Not only from the morning here, but how often do we see a stock make this big of a move up, make this big of a move down, and then for it to run right back on up? That's extremely rare, first off. So don't think that this happens all the time, folks. But nonetheless, it's very impressive. So, hey, if you ended up trading this from the early morning and were able to scalp, 50, 60 cents, maybe $1, congratulations. And then when it comes to the afternoon, I'll tell you what, I was away from my desk when this ended up beginning its move back up, building the higher lows off of 5. I was in commute going back to my home office. So when I came back to my home office at 2 o'clock and I found this at 7 and, even over 7 at that point, my jaw was to the floor. I couldn't believe it. But for right now, at least, hey, although I can't believe it, I'm still going to put this on our watch list for the afternoon, right? Although this is something that doesn't happen that often, to see a stock go from, 2 to 9, then back down to 5, then back up to 7. It's very rare and hard to find. So, for right now, we'll see if this can keep going. Uh-oh. If it's one of us, it could be all of us, but I think that that's not the case. For all of us live inside Cyber Group, just let me know if you could hear me loud and clear. Looks like one of us just had no audio. All right. And tell Cliff to log out, log back in. All right. So, hey, with that in mind, right now, the INDO, I'll put on our watch list for right now. I'm still a little reluctant, but we'll see if this could begin to make its next push up. But otherwise, what we'll do is go right from top to bottom. We'll see what else we got here heading into the afternoon. Ooh, look at this GLPG. I should have looked at the last column here. $65 stock, but it's at the highs. It's trading about 2+ million shares. It's not all-time highs either. Galapagos, NV, ADS, I don't know. Hey, given the move today, it would be hard for us to not put this on our watch list, but it's easy for us to not put this on our watch list. It's $65. So, if it was more within our price range, I would be much more jumpy to it, but we'll see if there's anything else maybe looking as good in terms of the chart, but more within our price range. This TSRI stock, looking at the daily chart more than the intraday, this is like a pop and drop stock to the highest levels there. All right, ARDS. Well, I was going to say this. I was going to get to ARDS. There's one trade I'm in right now. Only one. and it's ARDS. Now, just because I'm in the trade, it doesn't mean I'm going to put it on our watch list. Really, that call out I posted earlier in the afternoon before I made my commute. But I was typing in the chat board to Michael and Norman and Kevin, just those of us that were there at the time. I was saying, hey, there is a historical level at $1.90 today on the ARDS. It was holding above that 190 price extremely well heading into the end of last year. You could say 188 if you want to be exact. But nonetheless, I'm in from 189. And, right now, although it's, moving up a little bit, I feel like this could be the beginning of a top, if not maybe for it to just kind of chill here at support. I even took a little off the table earlier when it began its push up towards two. So, I got some left. But, for right now, I'm not too particular about adding this to our list. A good entry, but I'm not expecting this to make a move up to 250 by the end of the day. If I thought there was a chance, I would put it on our main list for us here. But if you're not in this trade now, I wouldn't be as particular about it going forward. And when I say now, truth be told, I meant from the 190 level. If you're not in from 190 now, it's not as clean of a trade or entry to consider. All right, that's the only trade I'm in. Nothing else. But for right now, here the DOYU. This is this is a waste of time. DOYU here, just extremely flat now. It topped off shortly around 10:30 Eastern, as we expect for a lot of stocks to do. We learned that within the Phase One curriculum this week. And market's dropping off, of course. So you got LABD on the gainers list. You have Boyle, some of the ETFs at least. Netflix, I guess, having a pretty good day, up over 8% right now. Levi's having a pretty good day, up over 9%, but that was from the morning. A lot of these stocks are now pulling back now at this point, folks, going into the afternoon. JDST, I'm sure dust is somewhere lingering here. Damn, that's it. That's all I got on the gainer side, folks. We'll kind of zoom out from the 1-minute chart. I'll just show you the SPY here. Coming off the Fed meeting yesterday, I don't like being right in this regard, but this exactly played out the way that I thought it could have. The lower highs on the SPY, it pulled back as soon as we finished up the afternoon meeting yesterday, led to an incredible short on AMC and on SoFi. Right now, markets are still dropping off, kind of coasting off at the lows here is the S&P ETF, the SPY. What we'll do is hop on over to the losers list, see if there's anything that's down that's looking as good. TGTX getting its butt kicked today, down over 39%. Hey, this stock is pretty close to the lows right now, and it's shortable. It's trying to perhaps make a higher low, as you could see. So we'll see if this could either maybe false break over 850 and snap right back down. It is down enough to the point where if this is the bottom, then perhaps there could be a little short covering otherwise heading into the afternoon. So in both regards, there's a possible short continuing to break lower going into the close, or if it holds here, this could be a little dead cat bounce opportunity. It's down enough. So the TGTX trade definitely going to put on our list. LC. LC is pushing back down too. Lending Club, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they retitled to LC, and that's it. Lending Club, I thought they were. But nonetheless, LC dropped off from earlier today. I think it was off of bad earnings. Ended up dropping down towards sub 16 and dropping now towards that price again here. So, the only part you have to be a little wary about on this stock, folks, is just the lack of iceberg orders out there on the bids so far. Doesn't really seem like there was any major iceberg order that was filled, at least from 230 onward. So that's something to just be careful about. I would assume there was an iceberg earlier that got filled at 16, but it's been pretty shaky around that 16 level since. So, take your time on the stock. Wait for the proper evidence to come in, and we'll see if this can keep going. All right, we keep it going otherwise ourselves. And damn, there's a lot that's down big today, folks. I mean, just look at number 50 on the losers list here right now live. It's down over 13%. Number 37 at least is. So hey, if there's anything else that looks good, folks, type it in the chat board. Just let me know. Let's work together here, especially if there's anything that I didn't look at just yet. Check Benzinga Pro here on my own end here as well. So just take a quick look at that. I got a stock. I don't know what the chart looks like, and this may even be an ETF. Let me double check here. SIDU? The hell is going on here? It's only trading 300,000 shares, but just completely took off from 9 to over 10. Looks all right. I mean, very volatile, pretty illiquid, if anything. But given more of this afternoon run up, right? I mean, it's a pretty extensive pop here so far. So it's hard for us to not put this on our list here. What is this? The SIDU stock. It's not an ETF at least, so it's one that we'll look to focus on. Sidus Space, I guess the company name is there. Now, if this completely flops and just crumbles back down from this point, then you know what to do. Then it's best to likely move on from this stock. But for right now, at least, we're going to put this on our list. See if the order book fills in a bit more. All right, I'll tell you what, folks. I got a bagel across both ends here. I'm not hungry. That's in the sense of no comments on YouTube. Got no comments in the trading room, and that's all right. I mean, hey, this morning going into the pre-market, myself and Fausto were chatting to each other early, and just it was painful to even scan the market. There wasn't really much opportunities to work with going into the open. Well, it actually led to a pretty good morning, right? You never know what's going to pop up. We might have the next INDU. Who knows? As soon as we finish up this meeting. So if there is anything else, folks, that does make a nice pop or drop, maybe after 3 p.m. Eastern going forward, then let us know. We'll work together as a team and we'll call it out. I know that Rich will be on the mic in my place from 3 to 4 as I'm teaching class. Cliff says the chip stocks are having a bad day. Chip is in like the computer chip companies, like CPU companies. So I guess we'll look at SOXS. That's the inverse semiconductor ETF. So with this moving up, that goes to show a lot of those within the sector, like Micron, Intel, AMD, not C, AMD taking a big hit today, right? I'm so used to my AMC trade there. From Joe H, he says the GLPG trade. Oh yeah, that's the Galapagos stock, right? I passed on this because of the price, Joe. There's no need to be trading a $65 stock right now. A $65 stock, odds are you're lowering your share count, and this doesn't seem like it's ready to make like a 3-4 point move to justify trading a $64 stock. You know what I mean? So, hey, AMD is twice the price, but that's a lot more liquid and moving a lot sharper. I'd rather trade AMD over GLPG. We're not putting either on the list, of course, but you know what I mean, right? We have 4 stocks to work with going into the afternoon, folks, and then maybe a couple more. I guess we'll check out a couple more side list stocks before we truly finish up. We'll look at the AMC trade. We'll look at SoFi. They seem to be moving pretty nicely with the S&P, with the market in general. SoFi in particular is dropping off quite a bit. It's down over 8% right now. I wish I held on to my short from earlier today. I was in from 12.50. I ended up getting out at 12.25 as I had class to teach, and it ended up dropping off pretty nicely as I was teaching class. But right now, hey, this is at the lows. This also broke a major support level. So as I'm going through some of these side list stocks, I'm kind of reminding myself of that on the SoFi trade. This stock ended up just breaking below a major support level that we had off of, I think that was exactly that 12.50. You could see on like a 30-minute chart just for the last 2.5 days, it was holding pretty nicely above 1250-ish, 1245, and then it broke under it this morning. Well, it's still going. So, this could be a pretty good short to work with here heading into the afternoon, the SoFi trade. Bruce asking about the UNG trade. That's a fund, not specifically an ETF in general or in specific, but that is a fund. So you look at that, it's going to be pretty hard to try and read level 3, the matrix there on the right side, and properly use our strategy. So in particular, I'm not as much of a fan on the UNG. It made a nice move up, move down. Chart looks active. So I appreciate the shout out, Bruce. LCID from Bill. It's dropping off as steady as SoFi is and making a bigger move down percentage-wise, actually down over nearly 14%. Hard to borrow on my platform. Just for anyone on TradeStation, double check to see if you can get the shares to short Lucid. And then otherwise, if you're on a different broker than TradeStation, you may not have this hard to borrow. All right. Ari asking, is Bookmap accurate for ETFs? I mean, if there is a dark red line showing, Ari, yes. But otherwise, if there isn't a clear level for you to follow, wouldn't make as much sense for you to be risking your money, right? No problem. All right, from RJF on YouTube. Welcome back, RJF. He's asking about DraftKings. Well, dropping off as steady as SoFi and Lucid, not down as much percentage wise. I wanted this short earlier, and it just kept dropping, and I just didn't have the chance to get the entry I was looking for, and I didn't want to chase. I was trying to short this from $20.55 or 20.60 at the most. As it was coming off a class at 11:30, so it was pretty much dropping off at this point, and I was looking for a lower high. It just kept going. So for right now, I mean, hey, you could put DraftKings in the same line of thinking as Lucid and SoFi, just with the trends down. For right now, I guess you know what? I'll put this on our list. I don't want to put every stock like DraftKings on our watch list. That's how we end up with a 20 stock watch list there. Let's look at American Airlines. Not too particular about that, and starting to spike back up a tiny bit there as the SPY is beginning to bottom out. All right. I think that's just about it, folks. There's nothing else that's popping up on my Benzinga radar. And then otherwise, everything else just seems to be kind of like a middle of the road, kind of tradable, kind of not tradable stock. And, I'd rather not focus on those to begin. You know what I mean? I'd rather focus on the INDO, the SoFi, the Lucid, and all of the others that we have on our list thus far. All right. For all of us live inside the trading room, I know that Rich will be taking over the mic coming up at 3 p.m. I know that most of us otherwise will be joining me in class at least. So for those not joining me in class, best of luck trading going into the market close. For all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. If you have any questions that you would like to send over my way, feel more than free to do so. Send it right to my email address, josh@c2trading.com. If you wanted to join us live inside our live trading room, continue the audio commentary that we have going into the close today, tomorrow, or next week, feel more than free to go right down to the link on the banner below of this stream, right there on green, right there in green on the bottom of the video there, to get yourself signed up for a small trial to our live trading room. All right, but otherwise, for Chuck, for Bill, for Norman, for Ari, Bruce, etc., all of us live inside the trading room. Best of luck trading, like I just said before, heading into the market close. Take care.